Good morning, my fellow yogic travelers. I'm mighty glad to be alive today, and I hope that you are too, as we continue to live, laugh, love, learn, linger, and live the life we love. Monday morning, Hafiz, the size of the love bruise. The gauge of a good poem is the size of the love bruise it leaves on your neck. The size of the love bruise it can paint on your brain. The size of the love bruise it can weave into your soul. Or indeed, it could be all of the above. The gauge of a good poem is the size of the love bruise it leaves on your neck, the size of the love bruise it can paint on your brain, the size of the love bruise it can weave into your soul. Or indeed, it could be all of the above. Oh, we're all bruised and wounded in love, are we not? All right, for my friends who are working on your journaling, question for today is, what's the biggest challenge you're facing? What's on your plate right now? Prioritize, be honest about it, get support if you need it. I'd love to hear about it and discuss it with you. Right, from my teacher, BKS Iyengar, the first thing that everybody needs to understand is yoga is not a religion. It gets you involved in virtuous life, trying to be a better human being, better moral person, and so therefore it appears religious. But it's really just a self-culture. It has no denomination, no affiliation. It's not exhibitionism. And if you practice, you develop humility and intelligence about your own life. You proceed in yoga, but you don't proceed with arrogance. You enjoy the health and pleasures and the fruits of the world, and you're serene in your mind, because yoga teaches you how to go inward and not just engage with the world in terms of civic, social, and political responsibilities. Now, one of the things my Zen teachers would say is, you're still thinking of the Dharma as something outside of yourself, something external to you, as if it's going to confirm your experience if you go deeper into it. And you have expectations of what you think it's going to give you. And you're always feeding yourself with this information. But it's something that's much more basic, like he would say. You just selected, brewed, and made yourself a cup of tea, but you only drank half of it. Finish the rest of the tea, then wash out the cup and put it where it belongs. Some kind of progress about just do what's right in front of you and in your daily life. If you do this, you'll find that what people call temptations are less relevant. Guidelines are kind of unnecessary. It's flowing from some internal natural source that's appropriate for you. It gives you its own kind of dharmic guidelines. You're not trying to be pure anymore. You're not trying to apply a detergent to your mind to make it spotless and stainless. You accept the flawed aspect of humanity, but you also accept the fact that deep within is warmth and compassion, goodness. You could call it the Buddha nature if you want to. And then yoga teaches you about your svadharma, that each person comes into the world as a somebody, not a nobody. You already got so many different intelligence markers inside you to do something that's already inscribed in you at birth. So it's to be respected, it's to be appreciated, and to realize you're inherently valuable in a very specific, subjective, unique way. What you do, what you bring is unique, never seen before in land, air, or sea, and probably won't be ever seen again in this way. So the ancient people would say that when a baby is born, the ancestors are looking to see, what's coming in, what's being sent from the other world, because every culture is always in dire straits in a certain way, and every new baby is bringing something from the other world, they could say. So what did the ancestors send in with you? And have you made space and accommodation for that thing which is in you so it can grow? I hope so. All right, the next thing is, although I do think there's benefits in psychoanalysis, focusing only on what was disagreeable in your life and constantly talking about it is a vicious circle of certain kinds of feedback loops. And they play a great role in maintaining neurosis. I suggest instead to break up the self-centeredness, do some of that work, but more important, find out whether or not you understand the will to meaning, not the Freudian principle of the will to pleasure, not the Adlerian principle, the will to power, but Viktor Frankl's idea of the will to meaning. In contrast, not to just enjoy yourself, not to just turn everything into yourself, but have you found why? Understand why, and you can deal with any kind of how, as Nietzsche says. So immerse yourself into the universal current of life as it comes through you. That's the place where the stories of all peoples are connected. And then you'll find that luck and coincidence come closer together the more you're living what you could say your destiny is, and the more you're in love with your own fate. Amor fati. Love the way it is. Somehow you set it up, as crazy as it may seem, even with all its suffering, twists and turns. But pay more attention to the caravan you're on. There may seem to be detours along the way, but you've always been heading in the same direction. I hope you can find what that is for yourself. It'll give you much peace. All right, and finally, always remembering to acknowledge what the law of attraction is, that which is like unto itself. Dealing with your own thoughts is so important. Once you accept the idea that the law of attraction responds to the vibrations you're emitting, put out good stuff. Juice the positive, we used to say. Because when you activate something that's unwanted in your life, well, the same law helps that to be more. So learn what you want and juice the positive on that. And then hopefully you can say to yourself, in all the nuances that this means, whatever I do prospers. I live a life of opulence. Doesn't mean I got $1 billion, but the way I see things makes me rich inwardly, a joy billionaire, if you will. So you expect wealth of different kinds to come into your life, the wealth of good friends, the wealth of being trustworthy, the wealth of having another day of peace in your body. So may infinite intelligence watch over all your transactions and realize that it's also the means to your realization. Have a great day.